No dog said World Cup servant coming. No, dude. That'd be crazy. What's up, Croc? How you doing, man? Oh man, just speaking of the World Cup, everyone was watching that at work today. While I was just minding my own business. But yeah, just came back from work about 2 hours ago. So as per usual, I'm a little bit tired, but the grind don't stop. There will be a stream. It's a light stream apparently, so it's not a actual stream, and they're gonna be announcing the next event as well as a new servant, which they teased. If you read the translations or if you understand Japanese, the translations basically implied that it's gonna be a male servant, a butler servant. They could also be swerving us. It doesn't necessarily have to be a male servant. It could be like my, I guess, cope is that it's gonna be Hisui and Kohaku from Tsukihime. I know they're maids, but you could play around with the ascensions and then give them their maid outfit, and then maybe their first or second ascension could be like a butler outfit. That's like my crack theory, but otherwise I'm expecting a male servant. Plus it is right before anniversary, so I doubt they're gonna drop anyone too big. But we'll see. Doing great. Just over a week away from heading to Japan. Oh, nice. I'm about like a little bit over 24 hours before I gotta head over to Los Angeles, which is like 30 minutes away anyway, but because of Anime Expo 2026. So if anyone's going to AX and you see a dumbass wearing this same jacket and this same beanie, it's probably me. And if there was any doubt if it's me or not, if I'm glazing Gilgamesh in any way, it's most likely me. All right. Yeah, are we gonna see you roll in Gil in Star? Yeah, I am. I said this in the last stream and previous other streams as well. I will be rolling for Gil in Star Rail. My girlfriend and I already have an account. We have about, actually I don't know how many rolls we have at this point. Maybe in total 150 rolls. I think something like that, but we'll see. But yeah, I will be rolling for Gil in Star Rail. My girlfriend's the main one playing Star Rail. I'm not even gonna pretend I'm playing it like that much. For the first week, we were kind of playing 50-50. But she's more used to the Hoyoverse than I am because she's played Genshin. And I want to say Honkai Impact as well. And me, I'm the complete opposite. I have no experience with any Hoyoverse stuff, and I also, historically speaking, if you guys knew me for a while, I don't like gacha games anyway. And there's a lot of things, and I don't want to get into like the pros and cons of the Hoyoverse or whatever, but there's a lot of things in Honkai that I just don't like from most other gacha games. So it just is what it is. But again, I will be rolling for Gil because he's my king, he's my dude. So how do you feel about the unmodded FGO Discord? So that's another thing. So about an hour and a half ago, I guess the official Fate Grand Order social media just dropped a bomb on everyone, and there's apparently an official Fate Grand Order Discord. I don't have the link on me right now, but if you go on any of their social media, you should be able to find it pretty fast. And it's complete chaos. I went there for about 30 minutes and it's just people spamming random shit. So it's completely it's a complete and utter chaos. But I mean, the world started off as chaos and then eventually it mellowed out. So I am sure they're gonna sort everything out and properly moderate it, but we'll see. They kind of just did it out of nowhere. I don't know what was the strategy behind doing that. I know it's like right before AX, so maybe they wanted to bring some attention to the game. But at the same time, they dropped it at midnight PST for us North American Pacific West Coast people. And for even people at the East Coast, it's like most people are already asleep. So I don't know why they just drop it randomly. But yeah. I wonder who the anniversary servant is for NA. I know, right? I mean, everyone already knows. I don't know if I'm going to be rolling for her necessarily. I I already have the stream up. I believe it's on July 4th. July 4th, 9 p.m. I already have the stream scheduled to go. So I will be doing the guaranteed SR as per usual. The Destiny order as per usual. I don't know if I'm going to be rolling for Space Arish myself. We'll see. As per usual, I don't really have a plan going into this anniversary, but if enough people hype me up or convince me, then I might actually do it. Because in the end of the day, what's gonna convince me is if I feel a case of FOMO. If everyone else is rolling and I'm the only schmuck not rolling, you know, it's gonna make me feel a certain way. So I might throw a couple of multi-shots, but we'll see. You have Saber in? No, I don't. Dude, I literally only started playing for like a month and a half. And I know Saber has a rate up right now, so technically I could roll for her. Because apparently her and Gil have synergy together, whatever. Even though they nerfed Gil, but besides the point. But my priority is Gil. I don't care if they work together. Like, I'm not gonna waste resources to roll for Saber, even though I'm mainly playing for Gil. When Saber dropped last year, I literally said, I have a video up saying I don't give a fuck because Gil's not in the game. So I wouldn't spend my gems right now, spend my rolls right now rolling for a character I didn't care about a year prior, when my main priority going into this game is for Gil. So I might roll for Saber after I roll for Gil. Don't get me wrong, if I get really lucky and get enough copies to max out Gil, then sure, I'll throw a couple for Saber, but like, I'd rather max out Gil than like have Saber and have Gil. Like, fuck that. I'll be rolling for Special Risk. Got about 920 quartz. Okay, good amount. Enough for pity. Hopefully it doesn't get to pity, but you know, it's nice to have that little safety blanket, I guess. Hoping to get Galahad as Annie. Ooh. You know, over the past couple months, especially this past year, I think a lot of people are on the hate train for Galahad. I personally don't mind him. I know a lot of people feel a certain way about him nowadays, but it's nice to see a fan of Galahad in the chat right now. As far as I'd mentioned the stream again, there's gonna be a stream in about 27 minutes. They're gonna be talking about the event and presumably the new servant that's gonna be coming out right before anniversary. But I do want to look at the Destiny orders for NA. So it's a little bit cropped out on the top, so apologies about that. But I'm thinking about going for this one up here, for the Naraka Mandala one, just because I could NP5 Ibuki, who's NP4, and she's my, if you didn't know, she's gonna be my Grand Saber for NA. So why not NP5 her? I already have her NP4, and I guess there's a chance I could get NP2 Domon or NP3 Kagekyo, which I don't mind. Domon's really strong. Kagekyo is really strong, so NP3 I wouldn't mind. So I'm probably leaning towards this one, but do let me know, guys, which if you guys are going to be rolling for the guaranteed SR banners. Let me know which one you guys are going to be going for. I know this one. By the way, I don't know why Richard's there. I'm not the one that made this. Someone else did. But I don't think Richard's going to be in the guaranteed banner or the Destiny order. I don't think so. The reason why they released him early was to celebrate Strange Fake and to advertise Strange Fake. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's gonna be in the Destiny order or the guaranteed SR banners at all. I could be wrong. I mean, they could do it, but I don't think they will. But I feel like this banner is gonna be very powerful just because it has Ako and Alice, and then Raiko is also fairly popular. Although Summer Pavilion 3 is insane. You're guaranteed a great servant. So there's a lot of really good ones, to be fair. There's very few that I would call outright bad, but it depends on people's taste on the end of the day. Who you want to go for. Gordolf is going to be Annie's. You know what? You say that as a joke, but I would unironically roll for Gordolf. For most people, especially if you haven't read the story, for most people that it probably wouldn't be hype. And I understand he's a fat dude, which is the complete opposite of like a hot female, a hot waifu. But as somebody who's read the story, he has my respect, so I would roll for him. I would actually roll for him. I don't know about like NP5 Grail Grand or anything, but yeah, I would roll for him. Like, you're crazy as hell. NP just gives croissant to the enemy or something. stuns them for 3 turns. I don't know. They could do something crazy, do something funny. I would like to see more gag characters, to be honest. Not that he would be a gag character, but I think most people would, you know, take him as such. But I wouldn't mind. Yeah, NP Gordoff Punch. Yeah, why not? They could do a lot. Him driving could be one of his animations because he's known to be the resident driver. The Alice banner because only have Lolly Raiko and MP3 her be fine. Yeah, so there you go. So there's a lot of great banners. So good luck for those you guys are going. Regardless of who you guys are going for, but I will be going for this one just because I got NP5 Ibuki, NP2 Domon, or NP3 Kagekyo, and to me those are all wins in different on different levels. But if I were to pick, I would get Ibuki right away. So, and the worst case scenario, if I don't get Ibuki, I could just put it in my Destiny order summon, and so that's what I'm probably gonna do. I'm gonna do the guaranteed first. If I don't get an NP5 Ibuki, I'll just put Ibuki into my Destiny order. Why not? By the way, you need, I think, 45 paid quartz to do both. I think 30 for the Destiny order, and then 15 for the guaranteed SR banner. So if you haven't bought your quartz yet, assuming you're gonna be doing the Destiny order, the guaranteed SR, then there you go. But yeah, it's gonna be my main goal this coming anniversary. And as far as rolling for Space Rush, again, it depends on my mood. If I feel a case of FOMO, then I'll probably roll for a little bit. But my main goal this year was Alice, and I was able to NP5 her, so I'm pretty happy about that. And the rest of the year is going to be pretty, for the most part, pretty dead. The one other goal I have this year is CL. If I could get even just one copy of her, then great. Because one copy is kind of all you need, to be honest. I have her NP2 and JP, and she's already a monster. And I mainly like using her for her card shuffle skill that makes all the cards hers. That way you can just switch her out after using that skill for somebody else. That way, whoever you switch out into, let's say it's Arjuna Altar, you only get Arjuna Altar's cards. And that's a very useful thing for challenges, ordeal call quests, boss fights, and plus, CL herself, if you really invest in her and make her your main offensive servant, she's amazing as well. So, she's just a great servant all around. I would say, like, I know I made it like a tier list earlier in the year, but I kind of regret it because, to be honest, I would say she's the best servant of this year. I don't think I said that in that video. I think I put like Dante's higher than her, which is crazy now that you think about it. But I think CL is easily the best servant to come out this year if we're just looking strictly gameplay. Isn't it like $45 for all the same quartz? I don't know. Because to get 15 quartz, it's like, what, $10-ish? Something like that? Potentially? I could be completely wrong on that. So then you just gotta add another 30 on top of that. So I don't think it's $45 for 45 quartz. I don't think it's exactly that, but hey, it might be expensive for some people. I'm thinking it's like $30. But again, could be wrong. Gordoff arguably has the best character development in the whole cast. Yes, I agree in terms of like the Kalia cast. I kind of agree. And not to spoil the ending of part 2 or the ending of FGO, the Lostbelt arc from, you know, almost half a year ago, a little bit over half a year ago. But I feel like they undid a lot of that character development, which is one of the many reasons I have a issue with the ending. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to talk spoilers, but just know that it kind of undid some character development for a lot of characters, which I don't appreciate, but it is what it is. By the way, how did you feel about 2 Jacks interacting the collab? Sorry for this one, no problem. I think it's cool. In terms of the story, I still would have loved to see that Jack have their own sprite and then come out as a separate servant rather than him just taking the form of Lollyjack, and then now there's 2 Lollyjacks interacting. Like, it's cool, it's funny, I guess it's cute depending on your viewpoint, but if anything, it just kind of makes me wish that they release the actual Jack the Ripper rather than just do that. But it is what it is. Gordoff went from bastard to weenie to bro. Yeah, for real. Yeah. When you really think about it, in a very short amount of time, Like his character development seems very long because the Lostbelt arc spanned like 7-8 years, but when you really think about it, he started becoming more of a bro pretty early on, and then he solidified himself as a bro by Lostbelt 5 for sure. Especially like what's revealed about what he did at the behind the scenes during Atlantis. So again, cool character. Again, I wouldn't mind if he's anniversary. I will laugh my ass off, but I unironically would be kind of hyped. More Unk than bro. That's true. Even though he's pretty young, if I remember, he's like 26 or something. Which, to be fair, that could be Unk status right now. I'm 28, so I guess, you know, and I call myself Unk, so I'm not that far off. Like, I'm older than him. Oh, he's 27? Okay, 1 year difference. 1 year difference. Still. NP5 Gordolf. If he's a 5-star, I mean, if he's an anniversary servant, he would have to be a 5-star, but I could see him being more like a lesser rarity, but if he's a 5-star, probably not. I have, to be fair, I have like 4,000 quartz. Like, that's not gonna be a dent on what I have unless I get horrible luck. But yeah. I'm broke, but I have a dream, copium, and prayers to pull for Space Ridge got shafted on her Lancer form. Well, good luck, Rizu. Hopefully you have something. 11 years of FGO, still no replayable boss to grind. Yeah, I know. It's a shame. It's a shame, dog. It's a shame. I've been in this quest forever. Let me go complete this real quick. I think the JP maintenance is done. But obviously the content hasn't dropped yet. So in about 17 minutes, they're gonna start their little light stream. I don't think it's an actual stream. I think it's like a pre-recorded thing. So we should be getting the in-game news fairly quick. So I don't know if anyone has any predictions for what's gonna come out. They did, like they usually do, they like to release like little art to commemorate the stream. So this art, and usually with the art, it kind of pertains to what's about to come out. It kind of relates to what's about to come out. But this art is kind of weird in the sense that we have Olga. I don't think a character related to Olga is going to come out. Then you have Gray. I'm trying to think who they could release from like case files or something in relation to Gray. That would be pretty hype. I guess if we're smoking crack cocaine right now, maybe Flat, but I don't think they would, because there's a lot more to Flat in Strange Fake, to where I think people would prefer Flat to come out for like a Strange Fake Part 2 or something rather than like a random ass event. I'm not gonna spoil Flat's entire thing. And then you also have Demeter. So I saw some people thinking, oh, maybe Persephone is gonna come out because that's Demeter's daughter and whatnot. I think that's a bit too soon. Demeter literally just came out like, what, 4 months ago? So to really release somebody in relation to her not too far after, it's kind of crazy. So I honestly can't tell who's going to come out for this event. I really have no predictions. It is like a carnival type of event or theme park event. They did say, again, if you read the translations, they did say that the servant claims to be the butler of Chaldea or something. That's literally their title. So that kind of implies we're gonna get a male servant with like a butler outfit. But again, my crack theory is that it's gonna be Hisui and Kohaku with like a butler outfit. I think that would be pretty cool. I know they're maids, but like what's stopping them from making one of their ascensions a butler outfit? But we'll see. We'll see. Alfred servant? Oh yeah, they gotta release Batman first before they can release Alfred, dog. Are you ready for the new anniversary servant? If you're talking about for NA, I guess I am. I have like over 1,000 quartz, so I'm pretty good if I decide to roll for her. As far as JP, I guess I am too, because I have like 4,000 quartz. So they could release anybody for anniversary, and I'll be ready no matter what. Yeah, Berserker Jack would be insane. Albert servant? Yo, dog. Like, I know I just said Gordolf, I would NP5, but if they were to release Albert, unironically, I would try to NP5 him. I think that would be peak entertainment. And you know what would be even funnier? If he came out in JP, I'm willing to bet 99% of the JP fan base has no idea who Albert is. Whereas in the NA fan base, I would even say like 60% of the NA fan base doesn't know who Albert is. But us 40% of players, like, we know who he is, and I would roll for him, unironically. Like, straight up, all my 4,000 quartz, if I got to NP5 him using all that, I'd actually consider it. And then I would also grab, like, a bag of popcorn and watch the world burn, because I know a ton of people would be pissed. A ton of people would be pissed at that. I already have Butler made with the mice cat. That's true. That's true. So I guess Butler does not guarantee a male servant. It could very well be a female servant or a feminine servant. So I don't know. Again, they wouldn't drop anyone too big right before an anniversary. I'm trying to think historically, like, for example, this year for NA, Ibiki and Chikagi, and there's no offense to fans of theirs, right? But they're not exactly the craziest characters ever, and most people skipped out on them in favor of a 9th anniversary and in favor of later summer. Typically speaking, historically speaking, the servant / event right before anniversary isn't the craziest thing ever. And that's by design. They don't want people to, you know, blow off their resources, I guess. Or maybe they do. Maybe they do. If they really want money, they would. But yeah. Mordred Butler costume. If it's just a costume, that would be kind of disappointing. At the same time, then we could just wait. We did have Indra, the Aura farmer, last year. I guess so. I mean, for me, not that he's underwhelming as a servant, as far as like a pre-anniversary servant, but for me, he was underwhelming as a Grand Lancer servant, just because, at least in the past, when it comes to Grands, like, there was like a build up to their reveal, whereas with him, he showed up in an event and then literally a week or two after the event, he's revealed to be the Grand Lancer, and it's like, oh, okay. Like, we couldn't just tell. And that's a problem I had with also Noah, and I want to say one other Grand servant. Like, it just didn't feel, I guess, grand is the best word I could go for. There's like no real build up. Are you still gonna play Star Rail? For the king, yes. I will. I will. By the way, Archer Blades, I know you didn't ask, but my girlfriend and I are gonna try our damnedest to get an extra Rin card for you. Because I know you're not gonna play Star Rail, and I respect that. And honestly, I wish I was, if I had the balls to do that as well. But I will be trying to cop you a Rin card from the Star Rail booth at Anime Expo. We're gonna try to cop an extra one, because I need to get one for my brother, and then one for you, and then I might just keep one for myself. But like, I'm gonna try to at least get an extra one for you. Did they nerf Gil even before his release? Yeah, they did, and that pissed me the fuck off. I don't know. I'm not a Hoyoverse guy, so I don't know how the Hoyoverse beta and versions and all this bullshit works. But for me, it's very weird. Again, from the outside coming in, from the outside looking in, as a new Star Railer or whatever the fuck we call ourselves, it's very weird for a company or a dev or whatever you want to call it to nerf a character that isn't even officially playable yet. Usually, and this is just my opinion or my observation, right? Usually when a character is nerfed, it's because an exploit was found by the player base after release, or the character is deemed too broken or too OP or game breaking to the point like, okay, we gotta nerf this character. To me, it's weird and low-key's kind of stupid to nerf a character right before their release. It kind of just takes the hype away from that character, in my opinion. And I know I'm super biased because it's Gil, but still, whatever. Indra is cool, but when people think Grand Lancer, they think of Romulus for a reason. Well, there's a huge reason, because he was literally the Grand Lancer in Olympus, and he had so much aura, and then now we got this twink with a bowl cut with 2 little kids fighting for him. That's our Grand Lancer. I don't know. You go from Romulus, a complete Chad, to Indra, who, like, in his own right is an aura farmer. You know, he has his own little cool shit going on, but like, he has 2 little kids fighting for him. Like, it's not that cool. It's not that cool. They should revamp some Grand class raids, like adding 1 or 2 enemies besides the Grand. No, I agree. There should be, because they did that with Olga, where you had the Olga, you had the choice of like a single target oriented fight, and then an AoE oriented fight for those of you guys who picked an AoE servant as your Grand servant, because most of the Grand battles, aside from the Olga quest, I want to say Grand Lancer technically, and Grand Caster, besides those 3, all the Grand battles are pretty much tailored towards single targets. So if you pick an AoE as your Grand servant, you're gonna have a rough time. You're gonna have a rough time. So I kind of wish there was just an option of like, if you picked an AoE as your Grand, then they're gonna tailor the fights for AoEs, and then if you picked a single target, that's gonna tailor the fight to single targets, or they just give you the option of either one, just off the jump. So that's like the one revamp I think I would appreciate for the Grand Duels. I don't think they're gonna do it, because we're already this deep in, and they've already reran the Grand Duels a couple times, and they didn't add anything new, but it is what it is. They should have just not announced guild stats. The thing is, and this is where they get kind of a pass. They didn't officially announce it. It was just leaked, and that's again, that's if you watch my original video about like Honkai Star Rail, like the collab. This is like the main thing pretty much that's like preventing me from getting overly invested into the game or into the community specifically. I cannot stand the leaks, and I understand I could avoid the internet to avoid the leaks, but part of the fun with FGO, for example, is interacting with the community. And over here in Grand Order, and again, this is neither here nor there if you think this is good or pros and cons or whatever, but over here in Grand Order, we don't have those kind of leaks or those kind of information ready to go months and weeks before a character even comes out. Technically, with NA, technically you do with JP, but if we're talking strictly JP, then that anticipation for a character coming out is there still. That theory crafting is still there. That mystery of who's going to be the next servant coming out is still there. Whereas with Honkai, it's like, oh, the new version came out. Oh, according to the leaks, this character is going to come out in 2 months, in 3 months. It's like, to me, that's boring. Like, it's not exciting to me. That's just not exciting to me. And I understand a lot of people love the leaks because it gives them a chance to save. Hell, it's giving me a chance to save for Gil months and weeks before he actually comes out. But to me, it's just, in the long term, I don't see myself having fun with a game where 90% of the discourse is about leaks, stats, meta, what kind of synergy they have with other characters, and like, to me, that's not fun. To me, fun is, oh, I wonder what character is about to come out, and then we all react to it together, and then we're all hyped together, we're all disappointed together. But the key is, whether it's a positive or negative reaction, the key is that everybody experiences the reveal together. Everyone experiences the hype or disappointment together as a community. Whereas in the Hoyoverse or Honkai or whatever, it's just like, I get a random DM from some random dude on Twitter, or some random person in chat, or a random person on Discord being like, hey, did you see the leaks for Gil? Apparently he's this and that. It's like, that's boring to me. To me, that's boring. And again, I could avoid the internet in order to, you know, avoid leaks, but like, that's just not realistic. That's just asking for too much. Like, why do I have to do all that in order to avoid leaks? I don't like it. Again, people like it because it gives them a chance to prepare, and a lot of people do like that theory crafting of like, oh wow, his stats are this, oh, his skill does this, oh, I wonder if he could work with this character, and then just like playing around with team building in their head. I understand that kind of mentality. I get it. It's that, in that like sense, I guess it could be fun, but that's just not the kind of person I am. That's not the kind of player I am. So I don't see myself in the long term keeping myself invested into Honkai in the same way I'm invested into Grand Order. Just because that's a huge part of my enjoyment with Grand Order, specifically with JP, because again, with NA you have 2 years advance of knowledge, so technically I'm kind of being a hypocrite, because like, oh, technically you got JP stuff to look into, so you could prepare an NA. I guess technically, yeah, but at least with JP I still have that, you know, that rawness, I guess, that sense of hype, that sense of mystery. But I just don't see myself, no matter how good the gameplay is, no matter how good the graphics are, no matter how great the characters look, I just don't see myself sustaining a, I don't want to say relationship, that's not the right word, but sustaining a I guess relationship is the best word. A relationship with the community and a relationship with the game, just because it's so different from what I'm used to and so different from what I like. Weird to see there's an NA Discord. I know, that's fucking weird, right? If you guys saw, there's an official FGO Discord, which is crazy because it took them 9 years. Granted, 9 years ago, I guess Discord did exist 9 years ago. But it is weird that they decided to drop an official FGO Discord for NA. I don't think JP is going to get an official Discord. I actually don't know if Japan as a culture uses Discord like that. Archerblades, Alex, can you verify? Do the young people of Japan partake in Discord, or they just don't give a fuck? Because I know here in the West and other places in the world, Discord's like the meta, bro. Like everyone's using Discord. But I don't know if like Japan uses it like that. But again, I'm not sure. FGO is not a meta game yet. Not yet. You can clear any story with a decent party. Yeah, and I mean, again, that's another thing that I heard about Star Rails, that the power creep is crazy. So like, I'm used to like being able to bring whoever I want and winning just by sheer will with Grand Order, because you can make anyone work as long as you invest and you play your cards right. Whereas if I'm playing Star Rail and like it gets to a point to where I have to play the meta, or I have to lean towards the meta, or I have to bring like a support character that's like maxed out and like is the meta a top tier character, and like that kind of sucks. Yeah, not so much, I don't think. I've only seen one person that have the app. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, I guess Twitter, yeah, is what Japan mainly uses, from what I could tell, as one of their main social media. Because I know they have their own exclusive social media, but as far as like social media that's like worldwide that other people outside of Japan could use, I guess Twitter would be like the main one, right? But yeah, that's interesting. They buy the company which made it. Oh, really? I didn't even know the Discord was made by. I mean, Japan makes everything at this point. Whatever. I don't even like it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but a couple years ago, again, I don't want to get too specific, but something happened in my personal life that made me not want to use Discord anymore. It got to a point, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I can't go into deep detail about it, but it got to the point that when I would hear the Discord notification, it would give me visceral anxiety and like anger and depression. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not even trying to exaggerate, or joke about that. So I haven't used Discord like legitimately in years. Like every now and then, for example, if somebody in chat says, "Oh, I sent you a DM on Discord," then I'll open Discord just to see what they sent me. Or in rare cases where if somebody wants to go on voice chat with me, like Kita Sean, for example, wants to talk to me on Discord voice channel for like a video or something, then I'll do that. But otherwise, as far as like day-to-day, weekly, I guess social media usage, I just don't touch Discord at all. So it is very weird that now there's an official FGO Discord. So now I feel like I need to do it just because of FOMO. To be fair, I'm kind of over most of what happened a couple years ago when it comes to Discord. So I'll probably slowly get back into it through the FGO Discord. So if you guys see me pop up, I go by the main antagonist on Discord. So I should be easy to find. I have the same ass profile pic. But yeah. FGO not having leaks reason is very simple. People simply are too lazy to do data mining. I don't think it's that, because I mean there's now granted I don't know the size of the player base of the Honkai games versus the size of the player base of FGO. But I feel like FGO is big enough as well as old enough to where there are definitely a lot of people willing and have probably already tried data mining, but I think because of the way FGO distributes and updates the game, it's kind of impossible to data mine it, if that makes sense. Because with Honkai, they release these different versions, and it's because of these versions that people are able to data mine all the information they need. Whereas FGO doesn't really do that, I don't think. So they're not actually... on Discord, I'm not the protagonist, no. I'm not the protagonist. Last time the Oberon and Lostbelt 6 Part 3 was leaked, the devs of Spears. And I guess that's another thing. I didn't even know about that, but I guess that's another thing. To my knowledge, from what people were telling me, people were literally telling me that the Honkai devs not only are lenient towards leaks, but they kind of not push people to do it, but it's like they use the leaks to their advantage kind of thing. Whereas the devs in FGO or in Losangle or Aniplex, they're the complete opposite. If somebody were to leak some shit, they would take that shit very, very seriously. Which I prefer that kind of business model over like, oh, people are gonna leak it anyway, let's use it to our advantage. Like, no. Have respect for your art. Have respect for the people who put their, I guess, hard-earned time and money and talent into the thing that they're creating. Like, don't allow that shit to get leaked, because to me that's insulting to the project as a whole, in my opinion. That's just me though. Maybe they don't give a fuck. I think that because JP devs use different build each time, that even people data mined it, it's very different to the final product, so ultimately it's useless. Maybe I actually don't know. I would have to talk to actual data miners and be like, hey, why don't people data mine FGO as hard as they do other games? Like, I mean, I'm sure there's an answer out there, but yeah. It do be like that. Okay, so the stream should be starting. It's again, it's a light stream, so it's not an official actual stream. It's probably a pre-recorded thing, but as far as an actual stream goes, I will be streaming in about 2 to 3 days. July 4th, 9 p.m. PST. Basically login time for NA. I assume that's when anniversary stuff is gonna drop, and I will be doing my guaranteed SR and all that bullshit, but yeah. I wouldn't mind if FGO had leaks, but I also don't think it would do much of a difference. For me, it would do a significant difference on how I enjoy the game. Because again, a big part of my enjoyment when it comes to FGO is shit like this. Sitting here, reacting to shit as they come out. If it was already leaked who the next servant's gonna be for the next couple of months, then I wouldn't be able to do this stream because everyone would already know what's coming out. Now granted, to play devil's advocate again, technically the same thing could be said about, well, how about people that stream NA? They already know, or most people already know what's gonna be coming out because of JP. To me, that's slightly different, just because at least I could still have that experience of like not knowing what's about to come out with JP. Whereas like if there was just leaks, just period, then there would be that experience would not exist. Just like how it doesn't exist in Hoyoverse or whatever. And that's just me. I understand the pros to leaks. To me, this one singular con of just not being able to enjoy a surprise. And again, maybe people don't like surprises. That's fine. I love surprises. I want to be surprised. I want to be smacked in the face by, I don't know, maybe they will announce Proto Guild right now. That would be hype. Think about my reaction last year when Summer Tiamat came out. I was hype as fuck. If that was leaked, I would be sitting there like, Yeah, Summer Teamouts coming out. Yeah, see, I told you guys. Like, that's not fun. That's not fun. And, yeah, so, I don't know. For those of you guys who love leaks or, like, love the Honkai community and the Honkai or the Hoyoverse games, that's fine. It's just, I don't see myself, just because of that fact alone, just because leaks is just, like, part of the culture of it. It's just not my thing. Not my thing. If you want to speak about legal stuff, not forget you can easily ban because you play a game on emulator. That's true. Yeah, see, they take that shit. Now, granted, I think that's a bit too much. I think playing on emulator, as long as you're not using the emulator to cheat or to data mine or to have an advantage or whatever, I don't think there should be a problem with emulators. But again, that's just a testament to how much the devs take the game that seriously, to the point like you can't even play on emulators, which is weird. I don't agree with that. I think that you should be able to play with emulators, but still. Most likely one new 5-star and one new welfare. Yeah, I think we're gonna get a welfare as well. At least I hope so. I'm not gonna complain about having another welfare. Hopefully it's someone from NPC jail. I don't know who that would be, because they already kind of spoiled it or teased it. They said it was going to be a butler. It's somebody who's posing as somebody called the Butler of Chaldea. So I don't know who that could be. I don't think it's an NPC unless there's an NPC I'm not thinking about that kind of fits those vibes, but I don't know. Yeah, seeing the reactions to the FGO community is a great experience. Exactly. Like, the way I found out about Gil officially being part of the Honkai Star Rail game is I woke up and I was just scrolling. Like, I wasn't even on my phone. I think my girlfriend was on her phone and she was like, "Oh my god, it's real." And I'm like, "Why? What happened?" Like, just groggy as fucking. She was like, "Gilgamesh is gonna be in Honkai. It just got like, here's the art." I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, it wasn't even hype because months and months before that, before the official announcement, people were already saying way back in like February or some shit that, oh, Gil's been leaked for Honkai. Gil and Reynolds gonna come out of Honkai according to the leaks, according to the data mines. Like, that already primed my brain to the point that I'm not even surprised. And to me, that sucks because he's my favorite character of all time. So I would have loved to have a raw reaction to him coming out in Star Rail, but unfortunately I can't have that. And even doubly so because when he was officially announced and I saw his art, at least a part of me was like, well, at least when he actually comes out in like what, July 24th or something like that, at least when he actually comes out and I get him, I'll at least be surprised by his animations, be surprised by his skill set, be surprised by his ult animation. But then like a week and a half later, all that shit got leaked anyway. And I couldn't avoid it. Like, I know I could make you could make the argument, oh, you could just avoid it. Just don't go on social media. Just like, that's impossible. That's impossible. I can't just avoid it. It's impossible. So I already saw his animations. I already saw his ult animation. I already know how that looks like. So now I have barely anything to look forward to when he actually comes out. Besides, the only saving grace is going to be how are they going to handle his character in terms of the story, in terms of the cutscenes, in terms of how he's going to interact with other characters. That's the only thing I can look forward to now. Which isn't a lot, because apparently the first collab sucked ass anyway. So now, I don't even know what to expect for this second collab. Because if the first collab was dog water anyway, in terms of story, then I could only imagine that this story with Gil is not going to be that great either. What would you do if they butcher his character? That's impossible. Like, they would have to do so much to butcher his character. Because he is such, in my opinion, he's such an easy character to make entertaining. He's such an easy character to make the audience laugh, make the audience get angry at him, make the audience love him. They would have to do something egregious for even me, the biggest guild glazer, for me to be like, they did my boy wrong. They did my boy wrong. I would be so pissed. Yeah, like I don't even know what they would have to do. I don't even know what they, if for example, like they're not gonna do this, at least hopefully not. If they give him a moment to where he's with Emiya, and like he gives him even an ounce of respect, let's even go a step further. Let's say there's like a yaoi romance between the two. That would ruin the character for me. I'd be like, this is not the guild I signed up for. Like I don't mind him swinging that way, but to swing that way for Emiya, out of everybody, that's crazy. Like that's way out of character. That's the only way they could fuck up his character. Otherwise, just keep him the same laughing, you're a mongrel this, oh Saber, when are you gonna marry me type of character. That's all they gotta do. The blueprint is right there. So we'll see. We'll see how they handle my boy, but there's no way. There's absolutely no shot that they could fuck up my boy that hard. How are characters even getting leaked months before? To my knowledge, in simple terms, it's because they release different versions of the game. And when they do that, the data is already in that version. So let's say they released version, I don't know, 36 a couple months ago. They already put the data of Gilgamesh and Rin in that version without them actually coming out. So if people dig enough, they could control F and then find, like, type Gil, and then Gil's name will just pop up. Like it's just that easy. It's just that easy. Like I don't know how to do any of that shit, but like apparently they don't know how to like protect their information. Now that's fraud behavior. If he swung to Emiya, to Enkidu, like, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't have a problem if Gil wants to suck Enkidu's cock, but if he started sucking Emiya's cock, then we can't have that. We can't have that. Like we ain't doing that, dog. We ain't doing that. Altruge is the 9th anniversary servant. Was it? Nah, dude. I remember when people were saying that, I was like, no shot. Like there were a good amount of people saying Altruge, or however you pronounce her name, was gonna be like the 9th anniversary servant or even the 10th anniversary. I was like, no way. No way. Every dream Altruge will be 11th anniversary servant that is wishing by people during 9th anniversary. So 11th anniversary, no, there's no way. You got to think about it like this. This is going to be the first anniversary post Lostbelt arc, post part 2. The first anniversary to usher in this new story of Grand Order. They would not release a character that no one has ever seen before, that most Fate players, most Fate fans never heard of. Let's keep it a fat sack. Nobody, no casual Fate fan has ever heard the name Altruge before. If you're a super big Type Moon nut, a super big Type Moon geek, then yeah, you've heard the name before. You know who that is. You know the significance of that character. But the most players will not know who the fuck that is, and most players will not be hyped seeing that character for 11th anniversary. Maybe you could say 12th anniversary. I'll give you that. Maybe 13th. But 11th to usher in the new era of FGO? No way. No way. To me, I think the obvious answer is Azrael, or like the younger King Hassan. I think he's going to be our anniversary servant personally. If you look at the history of anniversary servants in the past, a lot of them have been Kalia staff members. Spoiler alert, he's kind of a Kalia staff member currently, and he's also a new character to be introduced in this new part, so it would just make the most sense for him to be the first anniversary servant of this new era. Somebody random like Altruge just doesn't make sense. Arkwid made sense, because when she came out, Tsukihime, the remake of Tsukihime didn't come out that long beforehand. So they use Arkwid in FGO as a way to advertise Tsukihime. So that made sense. Releasing Altruge right now does not make sense. There's nothing to advertise. She has no bearing on the FGO story. It just doesn't make sense. And releasing a brand new character like, let's say, Castoria made sense because it's an Arturia face, so automatically people are gonna roll for her no matter what. And I guess that's it. Yeah. I guess the stream is starting. I'm gonna go ahead and mini screen. What's up, Brandon? How are you doing? Yeah, long time no see, my man. Hopefully you're doing good. Hopefully the family's good. Hopefully the weather's nice over there. As usual, the weather over here in California is bipolar as fuck. One day it's hot, one day it's cold, most days it's hot, but you know, it'd be like that. About to fist fight the fucking Reaper to get Camazotz as the anniversary servant. I would love to get Camazotz. I don't think he's gonna be this year's anniversary servant. I would be surprised if it's not Azrael. I think outside of Azrael, to be honest, we joked about it earlier. I think Gordolf has a higher chance than Camazotz. I just don't see Camazotz being 11th anniversary. Watch the Summer Welfare Ishiro combination of Fate Stay Night and Mewverse. That is definitely coping. Then the Summer SSR is Gil prototype. That's no. I mean, I like where your head is at. Very creative, very surprising. No way. I would love that, but like no way. Gilded AVA in the child event. I know, that's crazy, right? Life's good over here. Have they dropped a new character or said no, not yet. The stream just started. All they said that it's gonna be a butler character. Somebody who's posing as the butler of Kalia. So most likely it's a male servant. But hey, if they want to do Kohaku and Hisui with a butler outfit as one of their ascensions, they could go crazy and do that. I wouldn't mind. The NA official Discord server was definitely not finished. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, FGO has an official Discord server for NA players. I don't think spoilers for JP, like they don't want that shit over there, but yeah. And it's complete chaos over there. I was there for like 30 minutes and it's complete and utter chaos. Like there's like no moderation or anything, so you could essentially put whatever you want. Like there was somebody spamming for like an hour straight. I'm just like, why? To be honest, why Outreach still has no screen time in Tsukihime despite her name was always mentioned even in Multi-Blood. Yeah, so that's another point there. They would not release Altruge as the 9th anniversary servant, let alone the 11th anniversary servant, if the bitch has not even been seen in their own work. They've only been mentioned in Multi-Blood, in Tsukihime. They've only been mentioned. They haven't even been seen. So what kind of hype reveal would it be if they decide, let's not reveal how they look like in Tsukihime or in Multi-Blood. Let's shoehorn them into FGO. Dude, no way. There's just no shot. The only way they would release her as an anniversary servant is if they properly introduced her to the audience via Tsukihime or Multi-Blood, or if she makes an appearance in the story of FGO, which I don't think they would do that, because why would they, again, goes back to what I just said, why would they reveal her design and have her big debut be in FGO and not in, you know, the work where she is originally from? I think that would be very insulting to Tsukihime fans. That would be very insulting to Multi-Blood fans and just like Type Moon fans in general. I don't think they would do that. Discord was a mistake. I agree. I agree. It was a mistake. I understand why people use it, but after what I experienced on Discord, not my thing. Unfortunately, not anymore. I will be popping up every now and then on the FGO official Discord just because why not? There were some people who somehow recognized me. I'm still surprised by that because I don't really consider myself like a YouTuber or anything like that. But you know, it is funny. We get new Multi-Blood Lumia so possible. Yeah, that is possible. I would prefer if Altruge is properly introduced into Multi-Blood or Tsukihime for that matter, rather than just like getting shoehorned into FGO. I think even Multi-Blood and Tsukihime fans would agree on that. Because there's already like a stigma against FGO as a whole because FGO is just used to advertise other works. And a lot of Nasu's creativity is just being used on FGO rather than other works. And there is a lot of truth to that. So I would prefer if characters like Altruge and concepts and other things that should be exclusive to Tsukihime stay exclusive to Tsukihime, at least when they debut. And then maybe put them in FGO a little bit later. If CL is not anniversary material according to Takeuchi, then Altrude. Oh yeah, that's a great point too. Granted, CL is that's kind of crazy. That was like a ballsy move on their part to release her as a summer servant. Like, man, they released Space Erishgal as their 9th anniversary servant. Then, not too long after, we not only get another BB, who's already a fan favorite, but we also get the debut of CL as a summer servant. That was insane for them to do that. That was insane. But that is a great point, Ethereal. That just adds more credence to what I was saying, where Altruge is just like not anniversary material, at least at this moment. Maybe in the future, when they get a proper introduction in Tsukihime and Melty Blood, maybe. But like right now, especially back then as well, no shot. Primate Murder was first seen in FGO World, even has more screen time in well, Primate Murder, the one that we're associated with in the form of foe, isn't the Primate Murder that is a thing in other Type Moon works. Technically speaking. Even though they're the same being, the foe that we know presumably is completely different in terms of character, in terms of design, in terms of personality, than the Primate Murder that is a thing in other Type Moon works. Technically. I'm trying to think of another example of that in Grand Order. I guess Sion is a good example. Sion is completely different in Grand Order. Her character is completely different in Grand Order than it is in Melty Blood. Like they share similarities, same name, similar design, but in terms of character, very, very different characters. I guess, yeah, Olga is another one, although Olga from Case Files is just like, what if like her dad didn't screw her over, like what if story. Otherwise they're pretty much similar in terms of like personality and like whatever, but yeah, like that would be another example in a much smaller way. Yeah, I guess there's a ton of characters when you really break it down. That's similar. A foe variant servant sounds interesting. I don't know if they would make him summonable, but who knows? We are in desperate need. And cue my Camazotz fans out there. We are in desperate need of more male beasts. Now granted, I'm cool with the female beasts that we got so far. I'm not saying don't give us more female beasts. Certainly not saying that. I love Tiamat. Love Olga. Love the latest servant that we got. Who's like a demi beast. Koyan Sky, I love her. Kama, of course, Kiara. But like the fact that only male playable beast, or like beast candidate, not technically a beast in terms of like the class that they're playable as, but the fact that it's only just quote unquote Solomon / Goetia, you know, it kind of sucks. I want other male beasts. Why not? So Camazotz, if you want to make your appearance, bro, like, hey, any time, right? Like in the near future would be great. But again, I don't think he's going to be the servant coming out tonight. Because the servant coming out tonight is advertised as the butler of Kalia, and I just don't see that man posing as a butler of any kind. And again, I don't see him being the anniversary servant. I really don't. I think Azrael is the easiest and most obvious choice. We are missing one. That is true. That is true. We are missing. And they've been doing like some dumb shit where like Beast LR, and now they're doing the Demi Beast and like it's split into 3. And I think Camazotz, I forgot what's his Beast designation, because I know he's Beast 1, but there's like a designation to it, so he's not exactly Beast number 1, but it'd be that interesting if Tsukihime Kiara would fight a dead apostle ancestor. Oh yeah, no, Kiara exists in Tsukihime. And she's apparently OP'd as fuck there too, so I mean, I would like to see that counterpart, how her ideals would be displayed against a vampire. That's true, yeah. I would like to see her. Rather than it just being like a fun little reference, I would like to see her actually make an appearance. Why not? It's been a long damn while since there is a male anniversary servant. That is true. That is true. It has to be Azrael then. It has to be Azrael. Beast of Oblivion, I think. Oh yeah, yeah. Beast of Oblivion, yeah. That was his designation, his title. Which is a cool ass fucking title, by the way, but yeah. Okay, we're like, they're just talking about FGO Fes. Anyone going to FGO Fes? I hope you have a good time, as per usual. I will be going to the US versions of FGO Fes in the form of Anime Expo 2026 in a couple days. And I will be celebrating 9th anniversary over there. And then after their big stream, their big 9th anniversary stream, I will be streaming as well. This coming July 4th, I believe, 9 p.m. PST. So if you guys want to hang out, watch me do a guaranteed SR, Destiny Order, or if you just want to tell me how great your luck is, then you can do that as well. Oh, you're going to the FGO exhibition? That's cool. That's cool. Hope you have a great time. I was gonna say I hope you take a lot of pictures, but I actually don't know if you're allowed to take pictures. I don't think so. I'm gonna say no because I didn't see any pictures of the past exhibitions. Only like official pictures, not like pictures from fans or anything. But I could be wrong. Yo, dog. Wait. Speaking of, oh my goodness. I mean, I know a lot of people are probably looking at Lilith, but look at Shuten. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. No. Don't zoom in on Merlin. Can you zoom in on Shuten? She has like crown on. Is that supposed to signify the grand designation or something? I don't know what that's supposed to do. In some I did. I took pictures at the final. Okay, I guess that is allowed. Okay, that's nice art too. Jalter, nice art. BB Dubai, nice art. Abby, a very sus FBI art. Yeah, they're all wearing crowns. I just realized that. So that's supposed to signify the grand designation, the grand class. Yeah, that's cool art. It's cool art. Shuten is of course my grand assassin of choice. I don't know who you guys plan on granding as far your assassin goes, but chances are it's gonna be a better character than mine, because unfortunately, in terms of gameplay, because unfortunately Shuten isn't really the best gameplay wise. Ooh, I gotta update my JP version. Oh wow, Oberon looks really nice as well. I'm just updating my JP version. Nyai. Alright, there you go. Yeah, these are very, very nice art. Although Oberon already has a crown on, so I'm not sure what he's doing there. Not even Arturia can pull me out in PvP. That's crazy. That is insane. Li Xuan's gonna be your grand assassin? Okay, nice. About to experience my first Annie in FGO and definitely not my last. Okay. This is your first Annie? Welcome to the game. I'm sure I've said that before if you've mentioned you're a new player, but hopefully you're enjoying your stay here in the world of Grand Order and the world of Sight Moon. It could be overwhelming to say the least, but I'm glad that you're going to be experiencing your first anniversary. Hopefully you get exactly who you want in your anniversary roles. Oh, what am I doing here? I'm using all my mommies, as you guys can see. The meta right now in JP is quite literally the mommy meta. The mommy and older sister meta. Because I believe the new Archer, even though she kind of gives mommy vibes, she's supposed to be a big sister type of character, so apparently what everyone's saying is she's just as good in terms of looping, in terms of allowing arts looping, is just as good as Castoria, which, I mean, the math checks out. She does allow arts looping very efficiently, you know. Wow, shocker, female servers, that's true. That's true. Granted, Oberon is still technically the best support in the game. I hesitated a little bit because, in my opinion, and again, hot take, but I've been very consistent with this. In my opinion, I think Tiamat is like tied with him, if not a little bit better. In my opinion, because she not only enables looping, but she also makes a lot of challenges and boss fights very trivial. So, whereas Oberon, like, granted, he allows for big dummy damage, but it's a one-trick pony kind of thing. Whereas Tiamat, she could spam it out. She could spam it out easily. 1 second after time, is that the title of part 3? I think so. It's a very different title to what I'm used to. I mean, we've been used to the Lostbelt, Cosmos and the Lostbelt for a while, so now we got this very weird title, but it is what it is. Yeah, the mommy meta, bro. The mommy meta. Filler till part 3? No, this is part 3. This is advertised as part 3. It's not Epic of Remnant like filler. It's not Ordeal call filler type of thing. I'm pretty sure they literally called it part 3. And you could feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, because I could very well be wrong. But I'm pretty sure when the chapter dropped, they literally called it part 3. So for all my end of service fucks out there, how does it feel to be wrong for the millionth time? Maybe you'll have an argument in like 50 years when the game actually starts dying, but I don't think your argument stands as of right now. No way. Isn't Koinskaya also identified as lost in their beast status, aside from being beast cherishment? I actually don't know. This part will last 16 years. I hope not. I hope it's not absurdly long, because the Lostbelts, granted, very great storytelling, right? A lot of great stories, a lot of great chapters, a lot of great characters. But the fact it lasted almost 8 years, like, that is insane. They need to make the stories a tad bit shorter, or at least release them in a timely manner, because that's crazy. Personally, I prefer they keep doing small part stories. No, I agree. I think smaller stories that are written well, that are standalone stories, I think that could keep the game alive for forever, theoretically. It doesn't have to be a long story that interweaves everything from the beginning of the entire story. I don't think it has to do that. And I said this in the past before. They could literally live off of just events. As long as the stories are good, as long as the characters are good, they could live off of just events alone. As long as they meet that criteria of good stories and good characters. That's literally it. That's when you break it down, and most people agree with that. With this, the only reason FGO is still around to this day is because the story is really good, and the characters are really good. That's it. No one's playing because of the gameplay. Everyone always bitches and moans about the gameplay. No one's playing because of the gacha aspect of it. Everyone always complains about the rates. No one's playing because of the UI or the quality of life updates or anything like that. Everyone's literally playing because they resonated with a certain chapter. They resonated with a certain handful of characters, and that's what kept them anchored to this game so far. So if they, as long as they just focus on that aspect of the game and just make sure they're putting quality content in terms of characters and story, I think the game could last forever. Now, I'm not saying they're not gonna update the gameplay or update the UI or update the animations. Those are important too. They're just not nearly as important. Not nearly as important. I don't mind waiting longer for main story because story is more detailed, I guess. Yeah, no. I think what they could do, or I was gonna say what they should have done, but I can't speak too soon. We don't know what the immediate future of this game is, or like down the road with this part. But I kind of wish they just did events. And then in the background, work on a solid story. On a solid long story. And then after a year or two of just like small events, small stories here and there, then give us a big story. Give us a big story after small events here and there, small standalone stories here and there. Because to jump from a big story after the long 8-year story we just had with the Lostbelt, that's kind of bold of them to do. Is there any merch that is hard for you to find, by the way? Not that I could think of. I'm gonna be honest with you. There is one, but it's a pre-order bonus. I highly doubt you're gonna find it anywhere. There's a site called Tora Noah or something like that, where if you pre-ordered Strange Fake from there, you get like an exclusive Fate Strange Fake acrylic stand with Gilgamesh and Tine. But that's pretty much impossible to find because, again, it was a pre-order bonus. And most people didn't pre-order on Tora Noah. They pre-ordered on Aniplex or some other technically bigger site. Otherwise, as far as other merch goes, I don't really have anything I could think of that like I'm having trouble finding anymore. It used to be that Tiamat rubber strap, but I finally found it and I'm pretty much good on that. Lostbelt 6 is the reason why I like the game, especially Babanshi is my favorite. Well, there you go, see? I could tell from the profile pic too. I'm playing DBZ Dokkan Battle right now, and I kid you not, the pity system is basically the same as FGO. So basically not that great. Granted, there's not... I mean, maybe you guys could educate me. Is there a pity system that's actually good? Like, objectively, like, everyone agrees that, like, this is a great pity system. Because even the pity system in Honkai is kind of... It's kind of aggravating. Because you get that halfway pity that you could get the character that's rated up. But you're most likely not. And I hate that dick tease so much. But at the same time, at least you're getting something halfway to pity. I'm kind of confused what to get you, since you don't have to get me anything, man. It's all good. It's all good. You don't have to get me anything. It's all good, man. If I'm gonna give you any direction, I guess. Yeah, no, that is hard. That is hard. Because I'm trying to think from your point of view, like, oh, I want to get this guy something. But, like, he already buys all the guild stuff. So, like, what's the point? I don't know, man. I don't know. Surprise me, I guess. I mean, you got me that, that UBW Gil, Shikishi board. Which, again, I have displayed in my guild collection. And it looks really nice, by the way. With the rest of my shit, so... It just brings everything together. So, I don't know. If you could find some super exclusive shit, then I guess that's it. But, like... Otherwise, yeah, no, it's gonna be difficult. But again, you don't have to feel pressured to get me anything, man. I appreciate it. I'm sorry, the only gacha I play is FGO. That's my dude right there. That's my dude right there. Or does it have to be Fate Monster? That's true, Monster Hunter. Because, don't get me wrong, I collect Monster Hunter stuff, but I'm not that crazy about collecting Monster Hunter stuff. You can literally get me anything Monster Hunter, I'm probably gonna like it. But that's probably gonna be very difficult for you, because at least you're a Fate fan, so you can kind of navigate like, okay, he likes Gilgamesh, this is a Gilgamesh thing, boom. Whereas Monster Hunter, I don't think you know any of the monsters' names, so... Like, I did say you could get me anything from Monster Hunter, but if you get me something of a monster that, like, I don't give a fuck about, then I'd be like, oh, like, I don't really like this monster, but thank you for getting me this. I mean, the DLC is coming out next year, so I'm sure a lot of merch is gonna pop up. Yeah, Rathalos. No, Rathalos is actually one of my favorites, so... If you can get anything Rathalos, I'm good. I'm good. Like a Rathalos keychain, or rubber strap, or something like that. Like, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. Or if they have any, like, female Rathalos armor merch over there, then yeah, that's a good one to get. Or if you're ever at Universal Studios over there, I know Monster Hunter has their own section, their own little, I guess, theme park in Universal Studios. So if you're ever there, get me anything from there because that's gonna be exclusive as shit. But again, don't feel pressured. You know, it is what it is. I mean, Bleach Soul Resonance is pretty good. 7 multis and no 50-50. That's cool. Yeah, fuck the 50-50 shit, man. Mahoyo is also asked because more often than not, you really need that rate up character's weapon from the... See, that's what I also fucking cannot stand about Star Rail. Why the fuck are the characters and their designated weapons, essentially their craft essence, that is made exclusive for them, is on a separate banner? That pisses me the fuck off. It wouldn't piss me off as much if all the weapons were in a separate banner and the characters themselves have their own banner. But the fact that you could roll for a character and still get these random equips, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why not just put their equip rated up with them? If you could already get equips. It's like if you had a separate banner for craft essences and then a separate banner for servants. But then if you roll for servants, you could still get craft essences there. But you just cannot get the good craft essences which are in the other banner. That's fucking stupid. To be in my opinion, that's dumb. To be fair, I barely pull for the light cones. The thing is, to be fair as well, and I respect that. To be fair, if I'm gonna be rolling for Gil, I want to max him out. I want him to be as strong as he could possibly be. But in order for me to do that, I have to roll in a separate banner that he's not rated up in, but his equip, his light cone, essentially his craft essence, is exclusive to that banner rather than just being in the banner with him in it. That is stupid. That is stupid. And I understand. Oh. Is that Castrigil? Yo, he kind of looks like a Honkai character in here, to be honest. He kind of has like that. He kind of has some wealth action. Yo, Gil has an anniversary art. Okay, yeah, I'm picking that as my craft essence. Speaking of craft essence. Oh, dog, he looks so good. He looks so good. Make that a costume. Okay, now back to schmucks. Okay, that's our 5 seconds of getting excited for Gil. But there you go. DK rolls points can build up to golden tickets. Those points carry over to other banners and can select the current banner DK with those. Okay, so it's like a carryover pity system kind of thing, which I wish FGO had. A lot of people wish for some kind of system like that. Rumor has it his base light cone can be free if you do 200 pulls. So the problem with that is, one, it's 200 pulls. That's a fuck ton of pulls. Secondly, that's just one copy. If it's anything like FGO, which I know I have been playing for like a month, so I should already know this, but I honestly don't. If it's anything like FGO, I need multiple copies of that light cone to max it out. Again, that it's stupid that it's in a separate banner. Again, if it was using different currency, like let's say to roll for Gil, you have to use gems, but to roll for his light cone, you gotta use, I don't know, crystals. A totally separate currency. Then that's a bit more palpable. But the fact it uses the same fucking currency makes no sense. Why separate the two? Just put them together. By the way, the new arts gives them crown. Yeah, I know. I saw that. It's really cool. I want to say that's a reference to the Grand Class designation. But I could be wrong. But I can't wait to get my hands on that Shuten art. Everyone knows I love me some Shuten. I hope they do more with her in the future. AKA animation update. AKA summer version. You mean like Wuthering Waves where they do that for characters weapon and collab characters and their weapons. It's all separate currency. From my understanding, because I never played WoWa, but from what I heard from the recent collab that they did with Cyberpunk, the thing is the other currency is exclusive currency to the collab, if that makes sense. So you can't save up prior to the collab, and then when the collab drops, you already have the materials or you already have the currency to roll for that. Like, no, that now it has its own exclusive currency that you're gonna have to either farm out or spend money to get. Like, I don't mean it like that. I just mean like a permanent, like here's gems that you could farm out that you could use in any character banner, and here's crystals that you could also farm out that you could use on any, I guess, equip banner, regardless if it's a collab banner, regardless if it's an event banner, regardless if it's a limited time banner. Because the problem with the WoWa thing, with from my understanding, is that again a lot of people had a lot of the, I guess, their gacha rolls saved up, but then when the event dropped, they couldn't even use those gacha rolls because the event uses its own exclusive currency. I'm not talking about that. I think that's a little bit different from what I'm talking about. From my understanding, again, I didn't play WoWa. Also, speaking of WoWa, because I'm somebody who actually did watch Edge Runners and did enjoy it. So even though I didn't play WoWa, I did decide, because from what I was seeing, the collab story was pretty good. So I was like, okay, I gotta watch this because I watched the anime and I was invested in the story. Everyone's talking about the WoWa collab, so let me go just watch some of the cutscenes. And let me just say that they set the bar really high for collab stories, because I think they did a collab story as perfectly as they could, which is setting my expectations really high for this Honkai collab with UBW, this part 2 event, which I know it shouldn't, because I know everyone has said the part 1 collab was underwhelming as fuck. So I can only imagine the part 2 one is going to be trash as well. But I don't know, WoWa did it so right that it's going to suck going from that to going to like this fake collab, which there's a lot of hype going into that as well, but I don't think they're going to do it justice. Yeah, I don't think there has been a collab like Edge Runners one in any gacha game. That's what I'm saying. Because what it did successfully, that pretty much every other collab, not even just gacha collabs, but just every collab period, what it did that a lot of other collabs don't do is it respected not just the world of WoWa, but it also respected the world and story of Edge Runners by tying the two together and making it feel seamless. Whereas I feel like a lot of collabs, again, whether it's gacha or not, a lot of collabs is like, oh, this character is just magically in our world now. Oh, okay. We're just gonna accept them in our world, and this is just how things are. Like, no. In this Edge Runners collab, they actually made an effort to make it make sense and to get people emotionally invested, especially to those who have watched the original anime, and gave us a payoff that the original anime didn't give us. And that's just something that I don't think I've ever seen in other collabs before. Most other collabs is just like a fun little haha hee hee thing where, oh, this character's here now. Oh, they're gonna do their little punchline. They're gonna do their little special attack. They're gonna throw a joke here and there. Now they're part of the game. They're part of the squad. You could use them now. And then that's it. There's no story attached to it. It doesn't really respect the world that they're collabing with that much. Like, it's just fan service. It's just empty fan service. And that's what I'm afraid this fake collab is gonna be. Because again, I heard the first one's not that great, so I can only imagine the second one's not gonna be that great either. But it is what it is. Yeah, it is the same writers. Again, they did a phenomenal job. They did a phenomenal job. As somebody who's never played WoWa, as somebody who has watched Edge Runners, and I would consider myself an Edge Runners fan. But I wouldn't call myself a fanatic or a fanboy or anything like that. But as a complete outsider to both IPs, otherwise, I think they handled the collab really well. Outside of the gacha thing, because I think a lot of people had a problem with the exclusive currency, but yeah. Maybe I'll watch Wuo's Edge Runners collabs. You should. If you enjoyed Edge Runners and you wished there was, I guess, closure to the story, to the characters, I think watching the collab story is worth it, in my opinion. I think it is. Does Arwen play Star Rail? He does. So, again, I said this a couple of streams ago, but I barely see the guy nowadays because ever since he got a girlfriend, he's just been hanging out with her all day, every day. He would come here just to take a shower and just to grab clothes and then leave. Like, that's how... I only see him for maybe 10 minutes in total in a given week. But in those 10 minutes, we have talked about Star Rail and he is playing. I don't know if he enjoys playing or if he feels the same way I do or whatever, but he is playing for, of course, Rin. And surprisingly, he didn't have the same opinion you did, where he wanted Rin to be mostly just Rin. He's actually pretty happy that, Ishtar is embedded into her character rather than it just being Rin fighting as herself. But different strokes for different folks. I thought he was gonna have a negative opinion on that. But it is what it is. My expectations for this year's Fate collab are extremely low. Last year, Hoyo had their scheduling sorted out and still screwed up. I guess so. I mean, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. This year, they are still reeling from being forced to change much of Planet Cardia over. Okay, I had no idea there was like real life implications that influence the devs. Hopefully, that's all sorted out with. But yeah. Yeah, I kind of expect it to be different for me, actually. I guess I'm overly critical. I suppose so. I mean, I understand your point of view. Like, if I was a huge Rin fan, and for years and years, the main Rin content that I've gotten over the years was Ishtar, Erishka, which are all great, but I would love to see, like, vanilla Rin, do something. I'd love to see what a vanilla Rin would look like fighting on her own without the influence of a heroic spirit or a servant or a goddess or whatever. Especially in a different world. Like, we know how Rin fights in like Heaven's Feel and like other fates and whatnot. But to see it take place in a different world with like a totally different design, totally different outfit, totally different setting would have been interesting. But it looks like she's just, doing the Ishtar shtick, I suppose. So I understand. I did also enjoy watching Edge Runner anime. Plus, I heard Rebecca, my favorite character in Edge Runner, a lot of people's favorite character, to be fair, is also in collab. So I guess even another reason to watch Edge Runners. Yeah, no, it's a good watch. It's a good watch. For my Edge Runner fans out there, for sure. Oh man, and that's also another reason why I think an FGO, not a Fate collab, but an FGO collab is gonna be complicated, just because a lot of us Type Moon fans are like super critical, and we are used to like pretty good stories, like decent stories at best. So if FGO was to collab with some random ass IP, man, that would be something to behold for sure, because we would want that story and the lore to be respectful to the fan base, and respectful to the concepts and the rules that we already know and are used to. Plus no Shiro, that's true. No Shiro. I mean, dude, I don't know, man. Apparently next year it was already leaked that Sakura is going to be playable. Which is crazy that people already have that shit leaked, but it is what it is. You never know, maybe 2 years from now. Because apparently it's gonna be a yearly thing. Every year there's gonna be another installment of the Fate collaboration. Which I'm just like, how the fuck are they gonna do that? But hey, I guess money talks. So eventually I think Shiro's gonna maybe make his way in. That'd be interesting. Will you watch season 2? Oh, of course, yeah. I know. I already saw the trailer that got released yesterday. It looks crazy already. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. This is such a weird collab schedule. Yeah, no, it is. I think next year it's like leaked. It's gonna be Sakura and one other character, and a lot of people are saying it might be Ilya. Which I'm just like, I don't know about that, but I guess you guys would know better than me. You data miners would know better than me. Okay, Tucson is out here, so you already know what that means. By the way, it's kind of a shame. Last year, Kano Yoshiki didn't come to Anime Expo, and I don't think he's coming to Anime Expo this year. So I don't know if we scared him off 2 years ago or something, but I haven't seen my boy Kano Yoshiki in like 2 years. Like, what's up, Kano? Like, oh, what's up, Yoshiki? What's going on, bro? Tucson, you don't want to come to the US anymore, bro? We killed it for you. In my opinion, Rin using Kaleido Ruby would make more sense for alt than Ishtar elements. That's something more authentically Rin, even if the Kaleido stick is more associated with Ilya nowadays. I think they should have just kept it the blade, the Zelrech's blade. I don't know why the name is escaping me right now, but they could have just done that. Add more to that, because we saw her spam it against Sakura in Heaven's Feel. So they could have, you know, dove deeper into that. Maybe gave her more combos. Maybe she learned different spells she could use with it. I don't know. But no, she's just gonna use Ishtar's NP. Why not? Which is cool for Ishtar fans. Yeah. Makes me glad it's not a collab with FGO, because the clash of FGO players and Honkai Star Rail players would be atrocious on both ends. And it's already atrocious right now, and there isn't even a collab between FGO and Star Rail. And hey, I hope it never happens. Personally. I know some people, some weirdos out there want to see an FGO collab. Like a proper collaboration with another IP outside of Type Moon stuff, but after 11 years of not having that, I'd rather it just stay like that. Like, tell it to you like this. I'd rather the game enters end of service. I'd rather it enters end of service than it collab with anything outside of Type Moon. That's just me. Because to me, if it collabs outside of Type Moon, after 11 years of not collabing with anything outside of Type Moon, to me that already spells the end of FGO. It means FGO can no longer sustain itself. It means Type Moon can no longer sustain itself. It means FGO has to rely on some other IP in order to keep intrigue alive, in order to keep its player base alive. In my opinion, at that point, just end the game. Just pull the plug. It's already dying at that point. To me, that's a clear-cut sign of FGO dying. And that's just exclusive to FGO. Just because FGO has been pretty much exclusively within its own world for 11 years. I'm not saying Honkai can't collab with Fate. I'm not saying other gacha games can't collab with other gacha games. I'm just saying, as an 11-year-old IP, as something that's been standalone pretty much the entire time, for it to start relying on another IP out of nowhere, to me that tells me, oh, the game is dying. The game is no longer sustainable. The game cannot keep intrigue alive by itself. That's in my opinion. The Honkai Star Rail players can't even handle Robin in bikini. Really? I saw the summer reveal of Robin, which is interesting because I picked Robin as one of my free 5 stars because she looked like a really good support character. So when I saw she got a summer version, I was like, oh, that's funny. And again, this is somebody who's like completely new to Hoyoverse. So I have no idea how popular she is or whatever, but it's just funny that the one character I chose happens to get a summer version this year. I don't know. Oh, wait. Okay, Kanayoshi just showing cutscenes, whatever. I completely agree. The fact that FGO doesn't do outside collabs is what made me say, since it shows consistency with the world it has and is connected. That's what I'm saying. Ooh, who's this? I don't mean to say ooh on a little girl. I was just... Don't take that in a weird way. I'm just surprised to see a new character. Is that Karen? It looks like Karen, but I don't know. Young Olga? I think that's Young Olga. Yeah, I could tell from the hair. Young Olga. Is this gonna be like an event where everyone gets lolified and shotified? I mean, Da Vinci's already a lolly, so she already fits the bill. A lolly Olga? I mean, if she's free, then fine. But if I'm gonna have to roll for... Who's this? That's not Karen, then. Because she has blue eyes. I don't know who that is. Who that's supposed to be. Who that little ass girl with blue eyes. I could tell the art style is the same as Reynes and Ushi, I think. But I don't think she's related to either one of them. It's just not the same art style. Welcome to Kalia. Okay, interesting. Olga from Case Files is like 12. Well, this one looks like she's about 8. Like, this one looks a lot younger. Is it gray? Oh! That could be gray. Same eye color, same hair color. And she didn't start looking like Arturia until, like, if you know her backstory, until she was, like, experimented on or whatever. But originally she had her own identity, her own face. But she adopted the Arturia face after, you know, people fucked with her. So maybe this is her before she got fucked with. Oh, and she is carrying the cube. That is what that was. I knew it looked familiar. I was just like, I don't know what that is. That's gray. That's true. Damn. Yeah, y'all low key, like, I got Sherlock Holmes in the chat right now, bro. I didn't know. I didn't even realize, like, I knew it looked familiar. I was like, she's holding that plushie and it looks familiar. But it didn't click with me. It should have, but it didn't. Okay, so are we getting her as a free character? I don't think that was on anyone's bingo cards. Okay, who's this? Free 4-star, I assume. It is gray. That's gray, right? Saber gray, 4-star. Oh. She doesn't even look like an Arturia face anymore. Maybe this is like her original face. Like, you could tell she still has like Arturia, you know. She has the Hoge, kind of like the hairstyle, but for the most part, she looks different. Okay, I assume this is like a different ascension. Lancer? Wait, maybe it's the first 4-star that could change classes? Like free 4-star. I mean, there's probably other 4-stars that I'm not thinking about that. There's no way. If they make us pick between like 7 classes, brother? No, there's no way because yeah, she has Rongo Miniad and then Excalibur on 1. Okay, so can we switch between the two or we gotta pick one? Because if we gotta pick one, that's gonna be a hard fucking choice. Oh god, I could see the red text. We can only pick one, huh? We can only pick one, huh? I saw the red text. It said 1. It said 1. We can only pick one, huh? Oh no. I hate that so much. Listen, picking between the 3 Valkyrie is fine because they all functionally work the same in terms of gameplay. But to make me pick between 2 different classes with 2 totally different designs and presumably 2 totally different skill sets and NPs, that's criminal. That is criminal. Saber Gray or Lancer Gray? Yo, type 1 if you would pick Saber Gray. Type 2 if you would pick Lancer Gray. I don't even know what the fuck I'd pick, so. I would have to look at the kit, but in terms of design, I kind of like Saber Gray a little bit more. That's not fair. That's fucked up. That's fine. There's gonna be a shit ton of videos of like, which one should you pick? Which one's better than the other? Which one's meta? Oh no. I hope it's not just pick one, but like the text, the red text says one. Oh no, yeah, you gotta wait for a rerun, which they don't even do reruns anymore. I guess they could put her in the shop, so it's not the end of the world if you pick one. That makes me feel a little bit better. Not really thinking about it. Yeah, no. Tomboy supremacy, that's what I'm saying. You either get the tomboy or you get like a ladylike, or not ladylike, but a lady type of character or design. Oh, that's so fucked up. That's so messed up. I don't want to have to pick, man. That's so messed up. I don't want to have to pick. Again, the Valkyrie was fine because at least functionally they all played exactly the same, but like to choose between two different classes, that's messed up. That's so messed up. Fuck. I mean, they just done a Benny-Ano rerun. Yeah, no, I mean, they could do a rerun in the future. That's not out of the realm of possibilities. Just there's also the possibility that they don't. You know, there's also the possibility that they don't. And again, they could always put her in the shop anyway. The other one in the shop. Because I think all the welfare characters, aside from the new ones that just came out like literally in the past couple of months, all the welfare characters are in the shop, so I think it's just inevitable at that point that all welfares will end up there. It does depend on the final art, that's true. There's a ton of factors we gotta take into account. Depends on the final art, depends on the skills, depends on the animations, depends on a whole lot of different factors. Okay, if she's a free character, okay, if we look back at the art here that they released earlier, so we are getting Gray. We saw young Olga in the preview, but Demeter's here too. So are we actually going to get another form of Demeter, or maybe even Demeter's daughter, which a lot of people were theorizing about? I don't know, because we're getting Gray for sure. Young Olga is as at least an NPC character in the cutscenes. That only leaves Demeter out of it. Motherfuckers, man. It's a good thing I have 4,000 quartz, so I'm not really that worried about the gacha. For once, I'm more worried about the welfare. Isn't that I think that's the first time ever. I think that's the first time that's ever happened. I'm actually worried about the welfare. Because now I gotta pick one. Which I never had to do in the past. I mean, if I'm thinking objectively here, I don't really need another saber. I have so many great sabers. Whereas, I guess I could use another Lancer. The main one I use is Enkidu, of course, but outside of Enkidu, I don't really have a lot of other I mean, I'm using one right now, but still. Is this another case files continuation in FGO? Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, Olga and Gray are here. They're both case file characters. So maybe. Is there a butler in case files? Is there a male character that kind of acts like a butler? Because we still haven't seen the butler of Chaldea. Or Chaldania, that's what the event is called. Or the theme park is called. Because that's what they were teasing. For the past week. That there's a butler character, and she doesn't look like a butler in either of her versions. Shiro? If we get a butler Shiro, brother. This is a fan service, the event. We got a younger Olga. We got another version of Gray. 2 versions of Gray. And maybe a Butler Shiro. Another form of Shiro. Hey. That would be surprising. Butler Waiver with support skills I could change to buff either Quick Arts or Buster. So another OP support servant. Even though we just got one with Erd. I mean, fuck it, I guess. Everyone's Oberon's already Bond 15. Give us another OP support servant. Okay. 5-star C featuring Bathory, Nursery Rhyme, and Taisui. I say that because I can't see Waver as an offensive servant. That's fair. That's fair. He doesn't really give that vibe. Oh man, okay. Unless he becomes a rider with the power of Bro Scanner, that's true. That's true. Ooh, wait. The Gacha, sir. The Gacha CE. That 4-star is really nice. I think that's Abigail in the 4-star. I could be completely wrong on that. The 5-star CE, I want to say that's Raynus and Gray, but I can't really tell from this far away. Ooh. I like the command codes. Okay, so this is definitely a Case Files-esque event, given the 4-star, given the welfare that we just saw. I like that 3-star command code though. Finally get a Medusa command code. Hopefully she gets a summer version maybe. Are you gonna roll or not? They haven't shown the 5-star, so I really don't know. I can't tell you with confidence if I'm gonna roll or not. But I don't know if it's Case Files themed. Most likely not, unless they really surprise me with this Case Files character, wherever it is. Because again, I got a shit ton of quartz, bro. I could spend. Look how much quartz I got. I could spend. I'm good. Is this a mission base? I have no idea. We just had one with Strange Fake, so probably not. But I guess we'll see. Oh, they're buffing Paris. Okay. Okay. More buffs for lower rarity characters. I'm open to that. Now, if you could also do animation updates, that'd be great too. I know they just gave one to David, but more would be nice. Not saying Paris should get one, but you know, other characters. Yeah, buff for my Paris fans out there. I don't know how many of you are out there, but there you go. All right, give us the 5-star. We know it's coming, Kana Yoshiki. We understand. We know the. We already have Demeter? Is she just getting another raid up? Or am I missing something? Is this a different animation? Cause or is that a costume? That's a costume, huh? Demeter just got introduced not too long. Like she's getting a costume already? I guess there's been faster, technically, with like Morgan, for example. Yeah, that's a costume. Yeah, this is Demeter's first. This is Demeter's second, and then this is Demeter's third. So she's getting a costume. I mean, I like that. But is that it? Or there's no way that's it, for sure. Okay, give us... Come on. Who's that? Okay, it looks like it might be a female. No, it's a dude. Okay, I have no idea who that is, so you guys will have to educate me. I have no idea who that is. A twink? Alter ego? Who is this supposed to be? Hades? There's no way that's Hades. They made Hades a twink? I mean, you know, that's gonna appeal to some people, but is that actually Hades? No. Okay. I don't know who the fuck that is. Okay, I was about to say, if that's Hades, that's crazy. Okay, this is the part where I'm like, I never heard of this person, and then somebody's gonna educate and be like, oh, that's the cousin of Demeter, third cousin who she fucked, and Zeus also fucked him. Okay, who's that supposed to be? I am uneducated, I am uncultured, so I have no idea who this is supposed to be. Ascrapos? Yeah, I guess this is a job for Google. Ascalaphus? That's definitely Greek. Ascalaphus, Greek mythology, the son of Acheron and Orphne. Demeter turns Ascalaphus into an owl. Okay. Okay, he is the orchidist of Hades. Okay, so he is in some way related. Yeah, ass scratches. What the fuck? Was a king of minions and twin brother Laleminos. Okay. Never heard of this guy. But I'm sure my Greek geeks out there are going crazy for this guy. That checks out. We saw an owl. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. So we did get a Greek servant, which makes sense with Demeter's involvement and with this past couple of servants we've gotten over the years, or the past couple of months. We've been getting a lot of Greek servants with Demeter, and a little bit beforehand with Flora, technically. Okay. Based on my reaction, I'm sure you guys could probably tell I'm probably not gonna roll for him. Not saying he looks like shit or anything, but I just don't know who he is. This is one of those situations where I gotta learn who he is, gotta learn his kit, gotta learn his ascensions, and go from there, because off rip, I don't really feel like rolling. Okay, the trailer is out. I'm not gonna show it because copyright is a thing. But Gray's being very cute. And Demeter's involved. I think I saw King Arthur in there. Freaking chicken, he looks like shit. I wouldn't say that. He looks like he appeals to a certain demographic. Like if you're somebody who plays Twisted Wonderland, for example, or if you're like Musashi and you like your Shotas, or you're like your Twinks, then he appeals to you. But he's just like not somebody who appeals immediately to me. And that's the key word there, immediately. So right now I'm like, okay, whatever. But his third ascension might be like dummy busted. He might grow like 10 years older and he might look hot as fuck. He might look ripped to the gills. You never know. I know, they're giving us everybody but Zeus. Give us the entire Greek pantheon and the Greek mythology before giving us Zeus. Instead, we got Ascalaphus. Mythology. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna look up a myth simple. I want to like learn a little bit about him. Ascalaphus. I'm gonna read it to you guys, okay? Okay, Greek mythology. Ascalaphus. Okay? When he reported that Persephone had tasted the pomegranate seed, Demeter angrily buried him beneath a rock. Okay, so if you guys didn't know, Persephone is Demeter's daughter, so I guess Ascalaphus snitched her out and Demeter fucked him up. Heracles later released him from this prison, but the goddess, presumably Demeter, responded by transforming him into a screech owl, also known as a Ascalaphos. Okay. The screech owl was a bird sacred to the underworld gods and the herald of ill omen. So his entire character is, from what I'm getting, he snitched out Demeter's daughter, and Demeter was like, fuck you, imprisoned him. Heracles, because Heracles is such a hero, such a Chad, is like, let me free my boy Ascalaphos. Ascalaphos is like, I'm free, thank you, Heracles, my boy, what's up, dog? And then Demeter was like, nah, not so fast. You might be free from your prison, but I'm gonna turn you into an owl for the rest of time to serve the gods. That's his entire thing. And he's a servant now. So I guess anybody could just be a servant nowadays. Like, that's just, you know, anybody could just be a servant. Now, there might be more to his character, but like, that's what, based on what I've read, he doesn't seem like that important. But I guess, you know, FGO just be like that. I guess it just be like that, yeah. Okay, wait, there's another myth. According to another myth, Persephone herself changed him into an eagle owl by sprinkling him with the water of the river Phlegethon? I don't know. As an owl, he became the familiar bird of Hades, god of the underworld. Okay, so whoever said Hades earlier, I guess you weren't that far off? He was basically the bitch of Hades. So he was made into a bitch owl by Demeter and then served as the bitch of Hades. So before we got Protogil, before we got Camazotz, before we got Alcides, before we got Jack the Ripper from Strange Fake, before we got anybody else from Strange Fake for that matter, we got the bitch of Hades, basically. Before all these other characters, we got the bitch of Hades. Again, there could be more to his character and more to his myth that I'm not reading here. But from what I'm reading from all these different sources, is that his entire story was that he snitched out Demeter's daughter. Demeter did not like that. And as punishment, he was turned into an owl. And became the bitch of Hades. Okay. I mean, there's something for everyone, right? That's the beauty of fate. That's the beauty of Grand Order. Whether you love well-known characters like Gilgamesh, like Heracles, like all these other heroic spirits, or you're you know, you're a bigger fan of the lesser-known characters like Ascalaphus. Unless it's a false name, that's true. He has an alter ego. So maybe there's more going on with his spirit origin. Maybe when he ascends, he becomes Hades. Assuming his third ascension is locked, maybe they're saving something. Otherwise, wouldn't he have been a pretender then, at least? I don't know. I feel like he's a servant only because they wanted to write an event about Demeter. Well, another event, but that is true. In a span of 4 months, they decided to release another event about Demeter. And I like Demeter. I like Demeter, but I don't think I was clamoring for, oh man, I really want Ascalaphus. I would have liked Persephone, like Demeter's daughter, for example, personally. And that's not just because she's gonna be another potential waifu, but I feel like they could have done more with Persephone. Yeah, literally, the AI is telling me, the Google AI is saying that he's known as the snitch. He literally snitched out his entire character is that he's a snitch. So did we even allow him into Kalia? Because like, why would we want him in Kalia? Because I don't want to get snitched out. I don't want to get sold out. Thank you for the history lesson, Sensei. Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, he's a rat. Do I want to roll for him? Okay, is anyone gonna roll for him? Like, type 1 if you're gonna roll for him. Type 2 if like you ain't trying to get this guy. Now, granted, if his skills are dummy with the sauce and he's like Oberon Part 2, then, you know, I'm gonna feel more compelled to roll for him. At the same time, That's true. Persephone was kind of rolled. That is true. That is true. Would be hilarious if one of his ascensions makes him a goldish color, and then we could call him Golden Stitch. Hey, you're onto something. You're onto something. That's true. The costume. Let's not go like gloss over that. We are getting the original Demeter design from Lostbelt 5 as a costume for Demeter. So I do like that. In fact, I might even roll for another copy of Demeter just for that. Before I even think about rolling for Ascalaphus. I almost forgot his name. His name is literally Ascalaphus. How is he? I'm sorry. I know he just came out, so I feel bad about ragging on him. Especially if you're a fan of him, which I don't really see you guys being a fan of him. But his name is literally Ascalaphus. How is he a 5-star? With a name like Ascalaphus? I don't know, man. We could see his ascensions. Listen, I'll stream long enough to where we get to see his ascensions together. I won't roll for him, so don't expect a gacha session, but I will look at his ascensions with you guys. I will open up Atlas Academy and look up his ascensions, but yeah, I don't know. Is he rollable? In about 4 minutes, I think. If I'm not mistaken. He should be rollable very soon. The homie Ascalaphus. Like, I'm sorry, his parents fucked him up with that name. Who's his parents? Let me look up Ascalaphus' parents. His parents is named Acheron. I feel like that's a character in Honkai. Yeah, there's a character named Acheron. Or Acheron. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Okay, but his parents is literally named Acheron and Orphany. How do you go from Acheron, which sounds pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie, and Orphany to Ascalaphus? What is that name? I feel like he was just born to be hoed. He was just born to be hoed. Hey, and you know what? It kind of brings credence to my claim earlier. Usually the characters right before anniversary aren't all that. No offense to Hibiki and Chikage fans, but most people are skipping on them. I'm sorry. If you're fans of them, I'm sorry. It's just a fact. And now we got Ascalaphus before our 11th anniversary. Dude, his name literally has ass and laugh at it. Like I just want to laugh at him. I just want to laugh at him. His name is Ascalaphus. Maybe I'm not pronouncing him. Maybe it's Ascalaphus. Wait, how do you pronounce his name? Is it Ascalaphus? Maybe I'm fucking up his name. Maybe it's not Ascalaphus. Maybe it's Ascalaphus. Hibiki and Chikage, they're from a lesser known type moon work. Whose name is escaping me right now. I apologize, but they're from a very obscure one. But you might have recognized them from Carnival Phantasm. It's funny, if you look up Hibiki and Chikage, like FGO pops up, not even their original. They're from a spin-off called Maho Sukai no Hako. So if you want to look that up, then Mahotsukai no Hako. There you go. Mahotsukai no Hako. Chiron Acheron, the boatman of Hades. He's famous in stories of Honkai Star stole his name for a girl. Yeah, I know. I knew I recognized that name. It's like a waifu in Honkai. Granted, a lot of Hoyoverse characters are like their names are based on like Greek gods and stuff. So it is what it is. Okay, so Ascalaphus should be dropping now. Again, I'm not going to be rolling for him, at least at this given moment. But I will react to his ascensions if it pops up on Reddit or Atlas Academy. How long do we gotta wait for his ascensions? Probably like not even 5 to 10 minutes. People are very fast. Probably within 20 minutes you're gonna see like videos of his NP pop up already and like his ascension lines and stuff. People are really fast. Ascalaphus. I can't get over that name. It kind of rolls off the tongue. It kind of has a ring to it. But yeah, I don't know. There he is. I'm gonna wait till Demeter has a raid up, and I'll probably roll for more copies of Demeter before I roll for him. And I guess his third ascension is locked, so you never know. His third ascension might be the shits. It might actually be the shits. Okay, so I'm gonna open up Atlas Academy. So many culture Tate owls. Yeah, I guess so. And apparently he's a symbol of bad omen. Ascalaphus, my boy. Who knows? He might grow on me. Maybe by next week, I'm gonna be like the biggest Ascalaphus fan ever. Maybe we play event story a little. Who knows? We might get him as a playable. He kind of gave me Man Ricardo vibes. That's his hair a little bit. His hair also kind of reminds me of that one gym leader in Pokemon. Not gym leader. I think he was an Elite Four member. Wait, dark type. Pokemon League Elite Four. I don't remember his name. Oh, his name is Sydney. Oh no, not Sydney. What the fuck? Grimsley. He kind of gives me Grimsley vibes. That's just me though. Now I'm looking at the two side by side. Not really, but a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, Man Ricardo, a little bit. Even his name sounds like a Pokemon. Yeah, it kind of just sounds like a Pokemon. Like, I could see the name being like a Pokemon name. Like, go, Pikachu! Use Thunderbolt on Ascalaphus! It just sounds like a fucking Pokemon name. Ascalaphus, dodge! I'm like disrespecting this man, but who knows? He might be the meta. He might be like the next coming of Oberon. Didn't he have Cerberus in one of his animations? I actually don't. Maybe. He was the bitch of Hades, so I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, well, let's check Atlas Academy if they have him up. Nope, they don't. Oh wait, we get to use him. Okay, I guess we get to use him. I'll team him up with Tiamat. Why not? Maybe Tiamat could convince me to roll for him for Ascalaphus. And put Demeter there for bonding. I'm just gonna bring Bonsees. I wish there was a way to auto equip Bonsees. Make it faster. All right, Ascalaphus, welcome to the squad. You should be honored to be teamed up with one of my favorite servants of all time. What did I tell you? Yeah, no, you did say that. You did say that. Okay, Ascalaphus. Okay, skill 1, some kind of evade with a lot of shit. Let's see. Evade on everybody, 30% presumably. At level 10 on himself and then 20% on everyone else. No, not 20%. Never mind. They already had 20%. So 30% battery, 2-time hit evade. Okay. So that's skill 1. It also drops stars. I'm not going to ignore that. Okay, so it's probably 30% at level 10. It only gave 27%. Whatever. He gives another battery. Okay, this time it's team-wide. So he pretty much has a 50% battery. And then 20% on everyone else at level 10, presumably. And then arts up for, I assume, 3 turns. And then guts. If it's a team-wide guts, we might be talking about somebody we have to roll for. If he has a team-wide guts, we might actually have to roll for him because there's really not that many other servants that give team-wide guts via skill. Oh, it's targetable. Okay. I mean, that's still good, but... okay, targetable. Wait, whoa. 3-turn guts. 3-time use. Buff removal resistance. Attack up. NP damage up. All 3 turns. I don't know what this demerit does. And it also gave battery. I don't even... How much was that battery? It went from, what, 37 to 88. Is that a 50% battery at level 10? Okay, this guy might actually be really good. I might actually have to roll for him. Okay, the cooldown is big. That is true. But it is a really good skill. They're really going on it. Yeah, I know. We just got a really good art support. Wait, okay, so what is it with them? Was Castoria not enough? They gave us Summer Tiamat. Was Summer Tiamat not enough? They gave us Erd. Was Erd not enough? Because now they're giving us this guy. This guy might be like... He might actually be... I don't know. I know I was like kind of ripping on him, but... He might actually be worth rolling for. All of his skills was a battery of some sort. His first skill was a 30% battery. His second skill was a team-wide 20% battery, assuming at level 10. And his third skill looked like a targetable 50% battery? It's possible it was just 50% on himself and then he gives guts to whoever was targeted, but... Did he just launch Truck-kun? Okay. This guy might actually be like... I don't know, I'm kind of second guessing now. I'm like, should I roll for him? He sent me Dio. Oh my god. This... Wait, okay, wait. His ascensions are out. His ascensions are out, I think. I think his ascensions are out, y'all. Wait. I think his ascensions are out. Let me put the filter off. Let me take the filter off. I have a filter for like copyright reasons. Okay, this is Ascension 1. Y'all seeing this? Ascension 1. This is Atlas Academy. For these guys who are wondering, Ascension 1, we see it. Ascension 2. Okay, this is what we saw earlier. Ascension 3 is priority locked, so... Yeah, it's fucking locked. God damn it. Final Ascension? No Final Ascension, okay. Damn, I was getting excited. If we got like a really hot guy or something... Or what if he got gender bent, he becomes a female? Brother. Yeah, he summoned Truck-kun, bro. The ultimate isekai. What in the Kingdom Hearts am I looking at? Even this music sounds like Kingdom Hearts. Fuck. Okay, I don't want to preemptively roll for him. Because on paper, he looks really good. I'm not even going to lie. That third skill is kind of OP'd. Wait, let me check if it's actually a 50%. Okay, I'm still at Atlas Academy. Okay, apply 20%. Oh, it's a 30% attack up. 20% NP damage up. And charge NP for one party member. He has a 50% battery. In addition to his team-wide 20% battery. So he essentially has this, like someone said in chat, he essentially has the same batteries as Oberon. When I said he might be the second coming of Oberon, that's not what I thought. This is not what I meant, I mean. So he has a 30% battery for himself. Art's 20% only. Okay, that might hinder him a little bit. If it was like 50%, I mean, that would have been OP'd. You better have 16. That's true. All he's missing is like a killer third ascension and like a really sick battle theme. And then he's pretty much Oberon 2.0. He also kills the target after those buffs run out. Wait, really? Was that what the demerit does? Oh, you're right. 500 chance to apply on one member. 500% chance to force instant death on self. Okay, now the interesting thing is, what if you use that skill on King Hassan? King Hassan is immune to instant death. And does that trigger the guts? Because that's kind of a weird... That's a weird buff, because he has a guts that triggers 3 times. Does that trigger the guts? This is a weird kit. But it seems like fun, though. He kills the ally you target. So if he uses third skill, it's a targetable third skill that gives hella buffs. Attack up, buff removal res, NP damage up, as well as a 50% battery. But it also kills them after 3 turns. I could see that being good in like a challenge quest situation. I could actually see that being really good in a challenge quest where maybe you want to tag a servant out. They already did what they needed to do, so you want to tag them out. It should trigger after the guts is removed. Yeah, but the guts only lasts for 3 turns, so no matter what, it only lasts for 3 turns, right? Or if the buff gets removed, but he also gives buff removal res. Fuck, should I roll for him? Is he a servant worth rolling for just based on the limited information? Because on paper he looks really good. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. He looks really, really good. But I don't know if he's like, I don't know. Oh, okay. Shiro's actually part of this event. Okay. So he's 3 skills, maybe swap. Mr. Giant pile of Saint Quartz. The problem is anniversary is around the corner, bro. This is bait if I've ever seen bait before. This is bait if I've ever seen bait before. And now we gotta ask myself, do I need another art support? After Summer Tiamat, no. But I still rolled for Erd. And Erd's a really good art support. And now the second question is, does he offer enough to where I could see myself using him over Summer Tiamat? Or I could see myself using him over Erd? The one thing that is stopping me from rolling for him, because his third skill is cracked. There's no question about it. Even though it has that force death, and even though it has a long-ass cooldown, I think it's worth it for what you're getting. But the one thing that is turning me off from his kit, as an art support, is the fact he only gives 20% arts on the party. If it was a targetable 50% arts, that would have been insane. That would have been crazy. But because it's only 20% team-wide, that tells me that he isn't going to be a 1-to-1 replacement for Summer Tiamat if I need an art support. or a 1-to-1 replacement for Erd or Castoria, because Castoria gives 50%, Erd gives 50% in total. Summer Tiamat, if you have her at least NP2, gives 50% plus, depending on her NP level. Whereas this guy, Ascalaphus, only gives 20% flat. So in terms of an art support, he isn't gonna be as good. But in terms of as just like a backup support or a support to bring for a challenge quest, I could see him being really good because of that third skill. That third skill is insane. Man, I'm like trying to talk myself out of rolling for him, but he looks like he might be worth it. He looks like he might be worth it a little bit. I'm like 40-60 wanting to roll for him, like 40%. Like I kind of want to roll for him, but 60% I'm just like, wait, let's slow my roll. Let's slow my roll. And I know I'm Mr. Giant Pile of Quartz, but I also want to make sure I'm not screwing. Because if I hit pity for him, and it turns out he's not that great of a servant, and his third ascension is ass, then I'm gonna feel like an idiot. Who's the Lancer? Gray. Who's the Saber? Gray as well. Presumably, unless somebody corrects me, but apparently they're both gray. Save that quartz for 11th anniversary. I mean, that's solid advice. That's solid advice. If he was a 4-star, I would say he would be a must roll. If he was a 4-star, easy must roll. But because he's a 5-star, I just don't see myself justifying rolling for him. Because as a 5-star, okay, I'm not going to replace Oberon with him. Because as good as his buffs are, it's not Oberon level. Aside from like the battery. The battery's insane. It is Oberon level in that sense. In terms of an art support, like I said, he isn't as good as Erd, isn't as good as Castoria, isn't as good as Summer Tiamat at all. Not even close. Not even halfway there. But as like a backup support on like a waiver Rhaenys level of support, fuck, man. Yeah, I think I'll save. I think I'll end up saving. But, you know, I got 3 weeks. I could change my mind at any given point in time, but if I really want him, I guess I could put him in like a Destiny order or roll for him in like guaranteed SR. Oh, the Lancer I used? Oh, Demeter. That's Demeter. Who's getting a costume for this event, by the way, so good. Good for her. But yeah, Demeter looks great. And I'm glad she's getting a costume. Yeah, I think I'll save. Because do I really need another support? Not really. And if I really want to roll for him, I could get him anytime I want. He ain't it, if you ask me. Objectively, he kind of is it, but like not to the point where I want to roll for him. What really is gonna tip me over the edge is if his third ascension is sick. If he ages up like 10 years and he looks like a Chad, I might have to roll for him. Or they could go the Flora route, where Flora, within like 2 weeks of her coming out as a welfare granted, she got a buff. If they give this man a buff, he's like 1 buff away from being like OP. Like he's right there. He's very close to being OP, but he's not quite there. Again, if he was a 4-star, I would roll for him. Deadass. Easily would have rolled for him. But as a 5-star, What's so good about him? He gives a 70% battery. That's the same thing Oberon did. And if I recall, before Oberon's third skill was revealed, in Lostbelt 6, when we were only able to use his first and second skill, I literally said on stream, I was like, even with just those 2 skills alone, he would be a must roll. Just because that's a 70% battery. Even without knowing Oberon's third skill, he was already a must roll just because at the time, a 70% battery is insane. Even to this day, like what, 4 or 5 years later, a 70% battery is insane. That is crazy. And he gives a team-wide evade. And he gives a targetable guts. Like, he's good. He's a good servant. Just on paper, he's a good servant. He's just not a great servant, in my opinion. At least on paper. I mean, I could be wrong. There's probably like a ton of videos being made right now. A ton of different streamers showcasing him. And he might be OP as fuck. But until then, I guess that's going to be it for this stream. I'm pretty much already caught up with the event. It is date locked. And I don't see myself rolling for him at this moment. But when his third ascension is revealed, and as more people are able to playtest him and showcase him, I might change my mind. But for now, I think I want to save until 11th anniversary. So the next stream, the next guaranteed stream will be this coming 9th anniversary for NA. So good luck to you guys who are rolling for NA. Hopefully I'll see a lot of you guys there. I already have the stream scheduled for July 4th, 9 p.m. PST, I believe. Whenever maintenance ends in NA, that's when I'm going to be streaming most likely. So I need him for my Hijikata. As much as I hate Hijikata, I think they would work well together. That is true. I guess I'll see you guys during the NA stream. Hopefully I see you guys there. And if you guys are going to Anime Expo, if anyone's going to Anime Expo, hi. I'll see you guys there, I guess. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye, goodbye, good night. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. A yeet.